and how will I add value to this, right? So I have over 9 years of experience in communication, which is like marketing communication and public relations, media communication, right? So I did my master's from Indian Institute of Mass Communication in Delhi, and after that I started as a journalist. And then public relations happened to me by chance. I like moved to Bangalore and I was looking for something interesting, and that's when public relations happened. And there's been no gap. I mean, going back from there, it has been like a really interesting journey. Some of the brands maybe which will resonate with you all, which I think you would have heard of, which I work with is Airbnb, NDTV Good Times, Kingfisher Calendar, Freshmini.com, Uber, Ola. Right, these are some large format, firms which you would have heard of. Maybe since all of you are from tech backgrounds, I also have created like a communication framework for Dell, which is a consumer tech, tech firm, right? So this is my background. What I essentially do is I create communication, framework for brands. It could be large format brands, or it could be startups, right? And we also help in personal branding, which means how a person should communicate in day-to-day life. And there are like so many communication channels which we have today versus which I had when I was in college, right? Like, I mean, there's so many platforms in terms of social media. So you're just not communicating in person. I mean, email used to be one form of communication. Then there was Facebook, but now you have like so many platforms to explore, right? So, I mean, I would like to take in more questions and understand how can I add value to all of you all in this session. But let's maybe just start with why do we need good communication skill, right? Now, I mean, even I'm not from a proper like comms background. I also studied science, and then I moved to communication in my graduation, right? I mean, I did political science, and then this communication happened, right? But even I was not like a pro comms person till the time you start getting start getting internships, you start getting used to the corporate world, right? Now, whichever sector you go to, you could maybe after your engineering, you go for your research, or you go for MBA, or you pick up something which is into management, right? Good communication skill is required everywhere, right? And good communication skill is not only writing good English or speaking perfect English, right? How clearly are you able to communicate your thoughts, right? And how does it help us, right? Like in your job interview, most of your interviewers look for good communication solely because how clearly will you be able to tomorrow, if say you join a firm, how clearly do you communicate their goals, how clearly do you communicate yourself, what are you trying to maybe sell or promote, right? Tomorrow, even if you're in a tech background, tomorrow if you're a coder, say with any consumer tech platform, let's look at like maybe Dell or Uber or something, right? You're constantly required to talk to international markets, right? So how are you able to collect your thoughts? How able are you? I mean, how well do you present yourself? Right? What's your? I mean, communication is also about your body language. A is like verbal. How do you speak? Written. How clearly do you write? Now we don't need like really fancy vocab or something like that. We should be able to write correct English and clear English. Same when it comes to your verbal communication, right? You should be able to communicate clearly in terms of what do you think, right? And how strategically are you able to communicate your thought to say a recruiter, or tomorrow whichever role you are managing, right? If you're front facing, it's even more important, right? But I mean, maybe 10 years ago, all rules of say somebody who was into a tech function was limited only to tech, right? But lines are blurring because tomorrow, maybe say you come up with a product, you're supposed to launch in front of a team, right? And also maybe you're presenting it to a global team, or also you're connected with a lot of consumers. You need to have a good social media presence, right? Like you need to be present on LinkedIn, now this Clubhouse, there's so many other mediums, right? So how, I mean, for you to stand out in this entire space, or for you to stand out in this in the entire recruitment process, or or in a firm, good communication skill always will play a key role, and very important role, right? Now let's look at maybe look at few things. What do we mean by what are the 10 top communication skills, right? A, we need to be emotionally intelligent, right? I mean, by emotionally intelligent, what I mean is you should be able to understand who are you talking to, what is that person getting out of that, right? And that has to be clearly, like, I mean, that's your sense of judgment, right? And ability to understand and manage emotions also. Tomorrow, if you are sitting for a job interview, how well are you communicating? I mean, sensing what the recruiter is looking for, right? How able are you going to emotionally connect with him or her is very, very important, right? Also, tomorrow, if you're in a stressful situation, like, maybe some work situation, something related to maybe a challenge at work, or maybe, I mean, currently you all are in school, you all are in college. So anything related to that, right? How empathetic you are and how well do you sense a stress situation, situation, and how do you overcome is very important. So that's why emotional intelligence is the first part of a good communicator, the first skill set which a good communication requires, right? Second is developing clarity of thought. Tomorrow, I mean, even if you are an individual versus tomorrow you represent a brand, you represent a firm, how clear you are about your thought process is very important, right? It's more than like, I mean, a lot of times you hear people, they talk a lot, but end of the day, you don't make anything out of it because that person is not clear in terms of what does he or she want to, basically talk about, or what is the end goal of that entire conversation, right? So you should always, if it's like a job interview, or if you're talking about a product, if you give me more context, maybe we can delve deeper into this. But having clarity of thought is very important. The clearer you are, the better you communicate, right? Secondly, your body language. Body language is extremely, extremely important for any communicator. Maybe sometimes, like, you're very confident and you know yourself really well, right? But you're not sitting straight. You're not like, looking into the recruiter's eye or your manager's eye, or maybe in your case, your professor's eye, right? So they will not understand that, okay, you know what you're talking about, right? Or like, or you're confident, or you're like, you'll be able to deal with certain situations. So good body language or confident body language is also part of good communication skill. Like a lot of times you see people who are extremely introverts, so they don't look into your eyes, they don't like, whenever you ask them anything, they're maybe looking at something else and they're not clearly communicate. Then you're not being seen as somebody who's confident, right? Tomorrow, like, all of you, whichever function you go to, you'll have to end of the day sell something. It could be a product, it could be a process, it could be a firm, it could be yourself if you start your own thing, right? If you have your own startup, right? So our body language plays a great role, and these are some like very like small basics to our body language, which is a firm handshake, very important whenever you're meeting a recruiter. Looking into his or her eyes and talking is really, really important. Sitting properly, having sitting, being extremely calm about the situation, that itself shows how confident you are, how well versed you are with your subject, right? Then there are a few more things which we can look at, is how friendly you are, like, and how much empathy do you have. Now, empathy seems like a very first world term. Whenever I speak to a lot of colleges here, or whenever we speak to some brand, we talk about like how important it is to be empathetic. Now, you all are more into social media maybe versus what I would be, right? What do we mean by empathy? Now, in our conversation, you see a lot of trolls, like people troll each other on social media, or whenever you send an email, the tone of the email, when you meet a person, you could have all good intentions, right? But if your tone is not polite, it's not empathetic, the other person will not understand what intent do you have, right? So a person who's has a better empathetic skill will always go higher. How do we reflect in our conversation that we are empathetic towards a certain brand, person, process, whosoever we're dealing with, right? Listening to the person, like listening to what the other person has to say, right? Adding up to them. Like you might sometimes have difference of opinion, right? Not all of us agree to one thing, right? But a very small thing is like listen to that person and then put across your point. Don't cut them off thinking, or don't be like, oh, I think it's completely wrong. You should always start like, in my opinion, this is what it is. Basis this research is what I can see, versus like, hey, you're completely wrong, right? This is how you show empathy. Now, a major part of communication skills is these days also how do you answer your emails, how do you communicate on social media, how do you present yourself on social media, right? What are the what kind of language do you use on social media is extremely important. I'm sure all of you have good social media presence, and tomorrow you get out of college, you will be leaders somewhere, you'll be joining some firm, right? So it's always very important to develop these qualities or start working towards it from college itself, right? The more responsible you are, I mean, the more responsible you are, the more you work on yourself. I mean, none of us have been born with it. Like, there are very few people who have great communication skills, but all of us can work towards it, right? Now, I'll give you an example of people which are, let's take example of Airbnb, right? How the global team communicates with you versus how Indian team works, solely because we have not been trained enough in our colleges. We go and you will be like, okay, getting maybe these grades are important, or maybe like, this is what 90% versus 80%, 60% is what matters till the time you're in school, right? Nobody all tells you that soft skills are so much more important, right? Being like having an empathetic tone, being polite, being very, very calculated and strategic in your communication is what is needed for you to tomorrow is that dream job of yours, right? Like tomorrow, if you're working at like say Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, all these companies, and there could be any other firms also which you have in mind. These companies put a lot of emphasis to soft skills. How do you present yourself? How can you deal with the situation? Now tomorrow, if there's a stressful situation at work, it could be a challenge which you all are facing. Then how do you communicate with each other? How do you resolve that problem is extremely, extremely important, right? Many a times we don't even realize, and we feel like, oh, like I spoke to my manager, but he didn't understand me, or I spoke to my professor, but he or she does not get my point, because maybe your body language is aggressive and you don't even realize it, right? Maybe your tone of conversation is very condescending, but then you don't realize it at all, right? So these are few things which you can start training yourself about, right? Always have this factor of like, being super empathetic to others, which means just listen to them, come back, like, tell them that, hey, this is what I feel, this could be a solution, right? Be like a solution provider in your entire approach, right? The more collaborative you are, the more like you're willing to help out, the more active you are in your space, right? The more actively you engage with your organization. I'm sure at college you all must be part of like so many groups and you all are extremely active. The same value is what you need to carry to any firm which you join, or tomorrow if you start something of your own, right? Involving yourself, having like a support system and supporting others in their goals, right? These values will take you to greater heights. Now tomorrow, whenever you have your placements, whenever a recruiter comes to you, right, he or she already has your grades. You all are studying in IIT, so the basic check is done that, okay, you all must be very good at whatever you do, right? The person is only not looking at aptitude at all. He or she is just looking at your attitude, right? Because tomorrow, if you go to any good firm, right, you will be your value add only when you are a collaborator. The work environment which we are, the entire ecosystem currently is changing, right? If you look at any of the firms, they are looking for people who are far more evolved. By evolved, I don't mean that, you need to be extremely good in playing music, or, those are obviously add-ons, right? But how much are you willing to give back to the firm? How will you interact with your peers? How will you interact with your manager? So they give you a lot of real life situation, right? Like I say, hey Shashank, hi, you were maybe in this situation, how will you solve that situation? And these are like basically real life situation which you would maybe eventually face, or you would have seen it in your college life, right? The recruiter is trying to understand what is your mind, what is your thought process behind it, right? How are you going to solve that challenge? And that's why when you go for an HR round, they ask you more and more, situation based questions, right? So their approach is to understand where you're coming from, how you're going to solve the situation, what is the outcome you're going to receive through this, right? So I suggest like read up as many books, look at like some good podcasts. There are like thousands millions of like good podcasts available now. Do utilize all the platforms which are available, which could be LinkedIn Learning, Udemy. There's so many other things, right? And there's so many good podcasters which are available right now, which is like free information, free knowledge, right? So these things, use as many learning tools as possible, right? Maybe what you all can do is like, you all are still in college, like have some group discussions around it, take up something which is like current, take up something which could be a challenge which a company is solving, right? Whenever you're going for any interview, read up as much about that company. Now if I give you Shashank, if you want to name a company which is relatable to you, anything, or which is relatable to most of your friends here.
We could take Microsoft.
So see, if you're going to Microsoft right now, you know what Microsoft does. So you don't need to get into those details, right? But there's so many things which Microsoft has, with very few of you will also understand. What is diversity and inclusion for them? What are the kind of people they're looking at, right? So go to the website and look at what are the core values of Microsoft, right? If you want to be a complete fit for Microsoft, Google, Facebook, any of these large format firms, right? Read what are they promoting, what are the core brand values, right? So I'll apart from this personal communication, I'm gonna get into brand communication, which will help you guys in terms of for you to relate with the brand, right? Now a brand like Microsoft, they're communicating with millions of people, right? So they are trying to communicate with their target group. Which are their target groups, right? One part is selling the product or selling the services, right? Second thing is, why will you maybe take a service from Microsoft versus any of its competition, right? The values which you build in, the values which the company builds in. It could be being extremely a company which promotes diversity and inclusion. It could be a company which promotes sports. It could be a company which promotes maybe gender inclusion, something like that, right? So if you go to there, if you read up about them, you'll see so much of information. So when they're hiring somebody, when Microsoft hires someone, right, apart from your aptitude, they're also looking at what are the things which you bring to the table. So it's always good for you to prep on those lines, right? Okay, maybe are you a problem solver? Do you understand about XSpace? How are you in your daily life? How do you guys communicate with each other in your regular day-to-day affairs, right? So these are things which the HR is constantly trying to understand about you, right? I've seen so many times in engineering colleges, like you'll be like, oh, I was like so much more better than that person, but that person got placed versus me, right? Only because they are also looking at ability of that person to learn. How much more can this person be trained, and how much more can this person learn, right? So these are like a few things I think you all should note down right now. You can have a lot of group sessions amongst yourself. You can shoot me some questions if you want to, right? And I would also maybe want to take you through a little bit of how a brand communicates with people. Let's take example of some of the popular brands, right? Maybe let's look at Airbnb. So Airbnb launched something which multiple people have done that in the past, which is renting out spaces and maybe renting out houses, but they communicated it in such clear manner, right? If your house is available, they give, Airbnb is your next house. Tomorrow if you go to a space, see, you all are studying in Varanasi, tomorrow you go to London for an internship, whatever, what Airbnb is selling is that Airbnb is your next home, right? And they are promoting, if you look at how they engage with their employees during COVID, they had to let go of a lot of people, but the way they approach everything, they are trying to promote that, hey, Airbnb is like an extremely fair place to work on, right? It's also adding experiences. So these are some values which the brand is trying to communicate to get the kind of employees which they want, and also they're trying to target the kind of audience which would be potential Airbnb customers, right? Similarly, if we look at Dell, apart from selling computers and apart from selling several consumer tech solution, Dell also heavily promotes diversity inclusion, which means you could be of any gender, you could be you could be maybe physically challenged or something, but Dell's door are open to everyone, right? Then they also look at they also support girls in science, because in India, I mean, unfortunately there are very few girls which take science, right? So what Dell is a tech firm. So these are some values which Dell will try to promote. They are trying to also establish a connect with their consumer, right? That's why whenever you go to maybe a store, you always buy certain products versus maybe you want to buy only Dell or you want to buy only Apple, because there's certain values they're selling apart from products. Product integration wise, almost everyone has similar products, to be very honest. Maybe A phone versus B phone, A laptop versus B phone, there'll be some changes, and there'll be some special and cool features. Basically, it's the value which the brand is trying to sell, and this is the value which we all buy. If my whatever resonates with me, if I am an Apple customer, which is extremely premium, being super high value, right? Apple is more of a status game. Dell is more of utility, how many features can we have, okay, and what are the things which we can give to our audience, right? So this is how brand communicates with their consumers, by creating curating some of these values. Now coming back to you all, how is this related brand community? I think tomorrow all of you will be joining one of these companies or some of the related companies, right? And you will be voice of the brand. So tomorrow you will have to lead the way for the brand. Now brand has laid down, I mean, maybe certain values for them, and you'll be working around that. So whenever a brand is trying to hire, they're looking at people who resonate with them. This is, I mean, recently if you look at all recruitment trends, this is largely finding a company cultural fit versus finding the most intelligent person on the floor, right? Any questions, anything which you all have which I can answer?
So ma'am, you have
maybe you're facing any personal challenge, any career related thing that if you all have, maybe I'll be able to guide you all better.
So yes ma'am, like you had enlisted, you had said that there are many factors which determine how good your communication skills are, which includes body language, includes fluency in that language. So is there any one particular thing that you find lacking in people that they should work on?
So I think most people who I've interacted with, when even I started out, when I first started out, right? Not all of us are extremely good with our written English, right? We could speak really well, but we don't write really well. So I mean, similarly, you can write really good English, but you don't speak well, right? So these are few skills which you should start building from your first year itself. Meaning writing very simple correct English. There's so many tools, there's so many tutorials which are available right now, which you can take help. You all can also create groups, and there are so many debating societies, or you can create groups with yourself and work on this, right? But written and verbal communication is extremely important these days, right? And now we have moved past just speaking good English, right? I mean, there was a time when in India people used to look at only people who can speak good English. We have moved past that. We have moved more into strategic communication. What do you mean by being more strategic, right? Which is trying to, maybe now strategic communication does not mean that you're trying to manipulate someone, right? But you're trying to put across your point very smartly, right? Now when you all get out of your college, you are not going to look at recruit, I mean, all these placement firms, or all these firms are not looking at only India right now, right? They recruit from anywhere else. So you're basically competing with I mean, you're working in a global landscape. Every firm I see in Bangalore has people from all over India and all over the world. So you might as well start prepping yourself for that, right? Which is working on your body language, working, being more strategic in terms of your communication, having clear thoughts, right? I mean, by clear thoughts, none of us get absolute clarity, but this is what, if I'm going to say whatever I'm trying to communicate, I should be able to communicate clearly, right? Pronunciation should be correct. That's a huge letdown for a lot of firms, right? Writing simple, basic, good English, I mean, correct English is good enough. These are things which you all can work on. We have like so many tools these days. Apart from tutorials, watch a lot of Netflix shows. The more you speak, the more you listen to, maybe good music, watch some good content on, all these OTT platforms. And also, definitely, you all should use all the learning tools which are available, right? Now it's very important to filter who is giving you right information, because everybody is selling online educational courses. So then how do you identify who are like good readers, right? So always go for like maybe certified courses, go for certified coaches, and go for like maybe there's so many authors which come up with like great books. Podcast I feel is I really love podcast, because even if I'm walking, even if I'm commuting from a place to b, I can listen to it and I can learn something from it, right? Use audio books which will help you hone your skills, right? But yeah, these are few things which you all can start practicing from now. Sounding confident is also very important. Like, you need to like also sound very confident, right? Which again comes back to your body language, having like again clarity of thoughts, right? So these are few things which you can work on and you're good to go.
Does anybody have any questions? You can unmute yourself and ask.
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to share some of the resources which you followed personally, some learning tools and resources?
So I can get back to you in terms of resources. I have not personally explored so much, but yeah, you can look at some of the podcasts. I can maybe send some good lists, right? Your basic English grammar book is the best thing to for you to start with. Like we studied, I went to an ICC school, so I used to study Ren Martin, and I still feel like it is as basic and as helpful as it can get, right? I find a lot of good courses on LinkedIn as well, which talk about learning good English or writing correct English, right? So those are few tools. LinkedIn has a lot of really good content. You can look at them. Udemy has like some really good content which you can start looking at. So these are like few tools which you can look at. What I'll do is also after this session, I will maybe send some reference material, and I'll send some suggestions in terms of brand communication, personal communication, like how to approach a job interview, which you all can maybe refer.
Yes, ma'am. That would be great.
Hello.
Anything else? Any other questions? Any challenge which you all are facing? Anything which intrigues you? That'll be like good to answer.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am. My doubt was I'm clear with my grammar, and while I write, I sometimes fail to express what I want to say even after using the correct grammar because the other person is unaware of my tone, what I'm trying to say. So when the person is only reading the words, how do I convey exactly what I want to say through words? That is the challenge that I'm facing.
If the other person is sorry, I didn't get your question.
Sorry, could you please repeat?
Would you repeat your question for me?
Yes, sure, ma'am. My challenge is that I'm clear with the grammar part, but I sometimes fail to express what I want to say through words. I feel that the reason primarily being that the other person is not aware of the tone that I'm saying.
So that you're talking about written communication, right? Not verbal.
Yes, ma'am.
So for written communication, obviously, like you have to be like when you're writing to a person, that person is not looking into your face. That person can't see your body language, right? So you need to be slightly detailed in your approach in terms of what you want to communicate. Now, by like detailed approach, you don't need to write like some essay or something, but you have to be slightly more descriptive, and where do you pause, where do you use your comma, which expression are you using is very important. So these are a few things which you can look at. But yes, when you're writing an email or when you're answering something, you have to be slightly more descriptive versus when you're having a one-to-one conversation, right?
Yes, ma'am. I think I get it.
Anything else? Anyone else has any questions?
Ma'am, I have a question. Like from my past experience, I was earlier I could not communicate well, but it's pretty hard to accept, right, that you lack
Yeah.
something so fundamental.
Yeah.
So where do we start once we have realized that this is we lack this very fundamental skill? Where do we start, and where do we start working on essentially?
So it's a very interesting question, and I'm sure most of students which come from tech background, they have this challenge, right? Because they're so good at now with numbers and science and everything. This is a problem across, not only in India, by the way. Like English is a second language, but there's so many other countries. If you go to Berlin, if you go to Netherlands and all, right? Or if you look at China also, English for us is our second language. For them also, it's our second language, right? So we are not born with great English, right? Fortunately or unfortunately, this is now a primary language to communicate with each other, right? But yesterday I met a girl who studied in Telugu medium till her graduation, right? And then now she's a copywriter with Ogilvy. So there's never too late to start, right? So what can you use as form a pure group. That's the most important thing, right? Amongst your friend circle, try using English as your primary language. Start working on it. Maybe somebody is good at it. Like, ask them to give you feedback, right? And maybe improve on that. Watch a lot of good content. Whatever you hear around you will really impact you. So your pronunciation and everything will improve if you start watching a lot of English movies, English shows. Start watching with subtitles, right? So that you understand flow of it. Where do they pause? What kind of when do they have any kind of moment when they're angry? What is the tone they're using, right? So these are some free ways of starting this, right? For me, I personally feel, because entertainment, we're always watching something or the other, right? So that's the easiest way to learn. Maybe I have seen a lot of people who watch a lot of cartoon shows and they learn from that, right? So whatever interest, if you're into music, if you're into movies, if you're into cricket, or you're into any sport, right? The language which is used is English, right? So start picking up from there. Now there are a lot of courses also which you can also. There's no shame in taking a personal coaching or personal course where coach is working with you to help you through that, right? There are millions of them available online. There's so many. There is one which you can look at. Also is Cambly.com. They offer some personal coaching in this space, so you can look at them as well, right? But the best form would be creating a group of your friends and regularly maybe come up with a topic, discuss whatever you guys like. It could be food, it could be cricket, it could be soccer, it could be any show, right? But maybe decide on a format and start working towards it. You will really get better at it. You wouldn't even you won't see any challenge, right? So coming from personal experience, I come from Delhi, but when I moved to Bangalore, right, I was always good at it, but English is the primary language here, wherever you go. From an auto driver to your house help speaks in English. So the environment by itself is very conducive for you to constantly keep on working on your skills, right? Now you do face you might face a lot of challenge in terms of how do you enunciate, how do you pronounce your words, how to express, where to pause and all this, right? For these things you should definitely consider some of the tutorials which are available online, right? And yes, movies and anything which you're interested in, but use a medium which already interests you, because that's the best way to learn. That will not seem like an effort. It will not seem like another class which you have to attend, right? So this is where you can start.
Yes, ma'am. We have a question in the chat. Could you suggest some tips to overcome stage fear?
So the more you go on the stage, the better it gets, is what I can say, right? the more you practice speaking in front of people, and please don't be ashamed of what people think. You might fail so many times, and you might initially stammer, you might not be best at it, right? But the more you expose yourself, the more you go onto the stage, right? Practice in front of a mirror, practice again in front of a group of people who could be your friends, your family, anyone, right? So start practicing in front of mirror, because you listen to yourself, you look at your tone also, right? And don't be scared of once you go to the stage, just focus on what do you want to deliver. Don't overthink. Don't try to have these thoughts, what are people thinking about me, I don't know if it's going to be great, right? You just go with a very simple motive in your head. This is what I am going to deliver, and I will just focus on my part. That's it, right? And start maybe doing it in a smaller group. So for us, there were so many debating societies, we had dramatic society and so many other things, right? So before you even get to the stage, you're already doing it in a smaller group. Then we used to take a lot of sessions for our class itself also sometimes, right? So you get used to talking in front of audience. So you can start very small, with a pure group. You can start then proactively coming up with subjects to discuss in front of class, and maybe create some groups for yourself. It could be debating, it could be maybe discussing something which is trending, right? But give have a lot of GD sessions, which I can group discussion sessions amongst yourself. That will really help you guys, right? In terms of, and pause, understand what is the other person trying to say, where to rebuttal, how to where to put across your point, not always watch your tone. All this practice will come only when you guys are all, indulging in some sort of group sessions, right? So form a group, if you all, it could be you don't need to be physically present also. You can do it over Zoom, or you can create an online thing, right? So these are some good ways of practicing speaking in front of an audience. And one thing is if you're on the stage, or if you are if you get an opportunity to be on the stage, always have this thing that you have a value to add. That's why you have been invited to that forum. That itself is a win. That itself will give you a lot of confidence. So I'll give you one example. I used to manage this brand called Xiaomi. I don't know if you all have heard of it. It's initially it used to be just a mobile firm, mobile company. Now they sell a lot of other gadgets also, right? Now the star of this company, Xiaomi, is obviously they're communication people, they're marketing people. There's Manu Jain, who's the founder and everything, right? But they do a lot of offline events, which is these are basically your product designers, coders. These are the guys who come up with the product. Now, if tomorrow Xiaomi came up with a fitness band or something like that, this has been designed by a techie, right? So whenever they have a product launch, they will a marketing person or a actor does not launch these products. The person who has designed it and his or her team launches it, and they launch it in front of a very, very huge audience. They normally will have 5,000 people, 10,000 people. They will call me fans, and they will call a lot of industry leaders and everything, right? So when I see them, right, they are not supposed to be good public speakers, right? But they know their product, and they haven't, they've designed it with a lot of passion, intent and everything, right? And that's what they present on this stage. Now, as an audience, what we value is not how fluent they are with English, right? How confidently do they, talk about their product, and they have to, discuss features of their products, right? Imagine for a guy who has been only behind the scenes and who was only into product development to go to the stage and introduce something, right? I'm sure it's extremely, extremely challenging. But they always focus on what's the content they're talking about, what is the product they're talking about, what is the larger idea of this book, what big problem are they solving through this, right? So if you know that this is what I need to, this is my goal through this session, or this is what I'm going to educate my audience about, or this is the point which I want to put across, right? There should be no fear. And even if you do really well, even if you don't do it well, people will shame you, but don't care about it, because they're not subject matter experts, and you all learn from our mistakes. So once you go, maybe you'll stammer, you'll not be like very confident. Next time when you will be much better. You should just like give yourself 2 minutes, close your eyes, and be like, hey, I'm going to own the stage. I don't care about what people are thinking about me, right? Because the fact that you've been invited to that stage, which means that you have something important or you have something valuable to share. So remember that always.
Yes, ma'am. I think we're happy because we're heading in the right direction. This is precisely why we came up with Speak Up in the first place, so that we can come up with topics and have discussions on them. So we have a good start.
All the best to you all. You all seem to be doing really well. I was just looking at the page, right? Keep the effort going. The more you all engage with yourself, right? The more like communities you create together, right? Like maybe like in a class of, I don't know how many students do you have. Maybe one class would have 60 students or 70. Right, everyone comes with a different set of skill, right? But nobody at this level when you're in first year of college is an expert. But the moment like maybe say I am very good with communication, you are very good with your technology, right? So you all should like maybe try form different groups, speak about like discuss things, right? Now whenever you're trying to have any sort of discussion, try that it adds some sort of value to each other. Maybe you can teach me about technology and I can teach you about like communication, right? So have a very structured approach to it. Maybe like look at role of social media. Maybe one day, how is it what's the role of social media? How can you use each platform? Maybe one of you would be very good with like any of the social platforms. That person can talk about how to communicate. The other person can talk about maybe like how the algo works. Maybe do movie reviews. Best, everyone will have opinion on a movie or a Netflix show or anything which comes on Amazon Prime, or maybe like if you guys are into IPO or anything, right? Anything which interests you, like start having conversation around that, right? So it will give you confidence to also have like structured chat. Now tomorrow what happens is, once you get out of college and you join a firm, right? People are just good at everything. Like they will have so much to talk about, right? Somebody will be firms largely are hiring people with different set of skills. Like they hire people which have background in dramatics, they hire people who are good at sports, they hire people who have different skills. So also now you guys in first year you have 3 more years to try learning new skills, right? By new skills, it could be like maybe swimming, it could be like working out, it could be maybe learning Microsoft, it could be maybe learning one new word every day and using it, right? Maybe be like, okay, I'm learning this word today, and where all can I use it? Have like very small goals, but just be consistent with it, right? That's the only. These are very simple things to do, and if you start working on it from today, by the time you finish your college, you'll be really good at it.
Yes, ma'am, certainly. Ritesh, do you have a question? You can unmute yourself and ask.
Yes. Ye- Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was asking this question that as you were telling about how to be confident and how to overcome all these things and how to be consistent. Um, it is I understood all the things, and I I do say that I will follow all these things. But um, in our speak up sessions, I have seen that yeah, we do like we engage and we speak, and the result which comes is like uh, we get to know that what we are saying, and we are not confident enough, but we didn't get the correct areas, that the lacking points, the main thing which in which we are lacking है ना, that who matlab, how do we know that in which areas and which aspect of communication we are lacking? How do we know that?
Look at doing some mock sessions, right? Like maybe you can maybe use this forum next time to have a mock session, like give like mock presentations, interviews, right? And I'm sure your teachers must be giving you a lot of feedback, or you'll also understand, that this is the challenge which you have, right? Be very, 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 very open to criticism, because it just like will help you improve better. Right now, what you all can do is, right, try having like a lot of doing a lot of mock sessions, right? And like your moderator should be somebody who understands the subject, so that he or she can give you like constructive feedback for you to work on it, right? Maybe say like you want to work on your English versus you want to work on your body language or your tone or whatever, right? So unless you have mock workshops, you will not understand it at all, right? So maybe try creating groups. Maybe this forum you can use next time for like a smaller session, smaller group, or we can have more focused approach to a session like this, right? You can also request. I don't know if you all have like HR support or placement or sales support, right? Or you could ask some of your seniors who are who seem to be good at this, right? To maybe like sit through a couple of sessions and give you feedback. Also, like guys, like there's one thing, like when this placement season starts, right? That's when you also understand so much more about yourself in terms of why and whenever you are like maybe some firm tells you that we can't hire you, don't be disheartened about it. Rather ask that person that, okay, no, I mean, what are the areas where I should have worked on? Which are the areas which you suggest I should work on, right? Every HR or every recruiter would be open to this, right? So this also is a very good way of learning about yourself. Which are the areas like where you can maybe work slightly more harder, right? Again, do try taking up sessions with specialists. I mean, I don't know if you can call, maybe you can do it like over Zoom or online, right? Maybe take a lot of situation-based aptitude tests also. For English, there's so many tests. Now you can verbally also you can check, your written English also you can check, right? So start taking a lot of those tests and start taking a lot of those, health support, help groups also. Engage with them. That'll help you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
See, I think the crux of this entire, session should be that all of us somewhere know that, these are the things which we should work on, right? I was very good with English. I was not great with maths. I always knew that this is not where I'm the best at, right? So but my goal in life was not to, become, my goal in life was always like, I want to do something in marketing, communication, public relations, right? So, but I was like, okay, this is something which I'll try and be good at, right? But I don't need to be great at it. And if I'm not great at it, it doesn't matter, right? What is my long-term goal? I mean, sadly, communication, all of us need to work on, because this is something which is core to everything which you do, right? But if you say are on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're at 1, try reaching at 3 to 4, right? And this is something which is an investment which you have to make for yourself. So take help of a mentor. Organize a lot of sessions amongst yourself in classes and in group sessions and everything, right? No one knows us better than no one knows us better than you yourself would know yourself, right? You know that these are things which I should work on, right? Maybe you take an exam and maybe you score certain, maybe you score 1 out of 10 and it is about maybe English, or it is about your verbal communication. Then you know that this is something which you need to work at, right? And I feel like, defining basis, like where do you want to be seen? If it's really important for you to reach that level, then you have to invest that time and energy in that, right? And start working towards it. And trust me, the time which you guys are getting right now, for the next 3 years, and if you go for MBA maybe later, right? Once you start working, you don't get this kind of time at all. All you're doing is meeting deadlines, going to work, trying to work on different projects. So this is these are few very crucial as where you should have a lot of fun also, but also this is the time when you can actually upskill yourself and you actually hone your skills, right? But this is also dependent on how much do you want to help yourself? If you say, okay, I'm lacking on confidence, then you know what are the things which are uncomfortable for you, what are the things which you need to work on. Dedicate some time, like maybe, your weekend, in 1 hour of the weekend, or maybe every day have, 30 minutes to yourself, right? So make a journal, write down that these are the things which I need to work on. Okay, fine, maybe 5 things I need to work on. How do I get better in this? Maybe I'll take help of a mentor, maybe I'll read this book, maybe I'll take this online course which could help me out, right? So every day if you take one small step, it'll definitely work. There's like zero chances of this not working out. It'll definitely help you.
Yes, ma'am, we should certainly try that. And you said that we could read books or refer to online sources or listen to podcasts. Do you have any specific recommendations?
So see, right now I'm in my journey when I've started on my own. It's been 2 years since I started my own firm, so I read a lot about entrepreneurship, right? So I listen a lot to Kunal Shah, who is founder of Cred, because he's just built a successful startup. So I get like a lot of tips and from him. I also listen to a lot of podcasts from Bear Biceps, that Ranveer, right? Because at your stage you also relate to so many things which he's talking, right? And you can help yourself in that stage. Also maybe Gary Vee, because we also do a lot of digital marketing, so I listen to a lot of podcasts, or I have personally taken a lot of sessions with him, which helps me upskill in this, right? So right now, I think maybe like I'll send you like a couple of podcast links, couple of books which you all can read. Right now, not everybody is into reading books, but maybe use audiobooks. Audiobooks are also a great way. Maybe you're walking, you're working out, or maybe you're maybe lying down. Or what, like audiobooks can also help you a great way, right? If you're not somebody who enjoys reading so much. So yeah, these are the few things which you can maybe look at. After this session, I'm going to send some reference material to all of you, which all of you can refer, and hopefully they should be be of some use to you all.
Yes, ma'am. They should certainly help us. Does anybody have any questions?
Good evening, ma'am. I do have a query.
Sure.
Can I know that how to keep a conversation shorter? Because in every interview, conversation shorter.
How to keep your conversation? Be very focused in terms of, if the interview is asking you, hey, like talk about yourself. Normally they start with this, right? Define yourself, or maybe introduce yourself, right? So you keep it very focused. This is my name. This is what these are my interests. This is what I have done. Right? Keep it only. Don't go into telling. Don't start telling a story, right? And something which could be like talk about your skills, maybe like if you're interviewing for say Microsoft, and then certain technical skills are required, then say, okay, I'm studying in this course, and these are like certain things which interest me, and these are my few skill sets. That's it. Don't try to have like unnecessary conversation with the HR, because then that might also lead them in a certain way, and more tricky. They'll get into like so much more trickier questions. So we have like a really focused answer only what they're asking. Don't go beyond what they're asking, right? Because they don't want like long answers from you. They would have already done a proper background check on you, right? So try and speak as much as needed, and answer only give them only what they want, not more than that.
Ma'am, actually, when they call us up for an interview, they would have already gone through our resume. So when they're asked to describe ourselves, what else should be mentioned apart from what is there in resume? Should we repeat the things we have mentioned in the resume, or should we add something else?
So make it like slightly more interesting, and keep it extremely crisp. Now in your resume you write like, okay, I am first year chemical engineering student. This is what I've done in my 10th grade. This is what I did in my 12th grade. I was part of this society and I have done this, right? So you just summarize it, and also add maybe one sentence in terms of how will you add value to that certain firm, right? Now, name a company which is your dream firm. Anything, wherever you want to be recruited and wherever you want to work.
Maybe Google.
So for Google, they, as I said, right, like go or whenever you are trying to interview for any company, do read up about them. Google harps on this fact that they are one of the best firms to work with, right? So they are looking for people who collaborate a lot. They are looking for people who are team players. They are looking for people who have very diversified approach to their lives or their work, right? So obviously tell them, okay, this is, say, my name is XYZ, I'm studying this, these are my core skill set. Apart from this, I'm also interested in this. Now your interest area, align it to what the company values are. Right? Maybe you have organized a debating society in school, which reflects that your leadership skills and you're a team player, right? Maybe you did something which was maybe say during COVID you organized something which helped migrant workers. This is something which you've done for by yourself. Maybe you have organized a student group which solves a certain problem, right? That shows that okay, you have certain leadership skills, and or maybe skill set wise you're really good with, say, Microsoft, or you're really good with whatever skill set they have asked you for. Do mention that. That is going to be like a good value add for them.
Okay, ma'am, surely. Thanks.
And also, like, why Google, right? Like, why Google? I mean, why would you want to work at Google? That's what would interest Google, right? But you can't say, hey, I know, I mean, Google is my dream company, or this is why I want at Google. This is why I want to work at Google. You should always say that, listen, I'm looking at, joining Google because I feel like, these are, I mean, so many things which Google does will add value to my life, and I feel, there's so much more which I can do with the firm, or these are a few things where I could add on, right? So, I mean, one of the days when you say, oh, it's my dream company, Google is such a great firm to work with, right? Add some value. Why will you be a value add versus somebody else who's also interviewing for this, right? So these are a few things which you should educate your recruiter about.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks for that. That was really helpful.
If you all have any follow-up questions, send me an email. I would love to, I don't mind taking personal sessions whenever I'm free, or if you can send some questions which is relevant for all of you, we can answer that at a later stage whenever.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. Any further questions? Does anybody else have anything to say?
Okay, we can take maybe follow-up questions. I hope this session was useful to you all, and you all are doing great. I see, you all are already, taking so many initiatives in terms of reaching out to firms on LinkedIn, creating an Instagram group, right? So be very, very, very proactive, and keep up to the good work. Reach out to mentors. I mean, nobody will mind helping you all out, right? So create more programs like this. Always happy to help. Always happy to connect to some other people in this industry as well. And offline, whenever you have any question, please shoot an email to me. I'm going to share my email ID, with Shashank and Ira and other team members.
Yes, ma'am. Since I think now we are almost at the completion of the session, so I will give the vote of thanks on behalf of SCS. So yes, this is Kshitij, and we called you, and it was extremely an awesome session because we thought that it will be a session on communication skills, but as you said, communication is a broad thing, right? So we cannot we can only take chunks of it, but you explained almost all aspects of it bit by bit. So that was really great, and we also realized that what other improvements we can do into our community, especially the feedback part, the mock sessions, and others. Apart from this, since whoever speaker we call in Varanasi, we gift him a memento, since this is a online stuff. So we will present to you with an e-memento. Just a second, I will share my screen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was lovely talking to you all.
So yeah, this is for you from IIT BHU Varanasi, Student Counseling Services.
This looks really nice. Who has designed this? This is really, I can see whole of Varanasi in this.
Yes, they resemble the Ghats of Varanasi. I'm not sure who has designed it because we are using it since years. Like
Okay.
it has been a part of our culture. So maybe Ira and Sai will email it to you. And we cannot thank you enough for this for today's session, because this session is not only about communication skills. It also gives us the motivation to keep continue on our path and to work. So I believe just a special thanks to our host also, Shashank, for conducting it nicely, and to the audience here for staying us for so long. Okay, so I'm stopping the presentation.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, Shashank, Ira, all of you. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who has joined and being like really patient with this session. Always happy to help. Please, reach out to me, send me an email whenever you all need any help. And all the best, all the best. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a pleasure to host you. And lastly, before you leave, I'm dropping a feedback form in the chat. Please fill that. That
Sure.
will help us. No, ma'am, this is for the attendees. So that will help us work on what we lack. So please do fill the feedback form.
Definitely, I'll do that.
I think, yeah, after you fill the feedback form, that's pretty much it. I think we can wrap up now.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Shashank, Ira, the entire team. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am, and happy Holi.
Thank you. Happy Holi, all. How you all? I mean, are you guys celebrating Holi this time?
Oh, ma'am, just resting on the bed. Not much.
Okay. Anyway, have a good weekend. Have a good weekend to all of you. Please, honestly, reach out to me whenever you all need anything. Always, I'd be like more than happy to help you all.